Up early.
Yeah, okay, here we go. It says, Jeanne, how about this question? Are poinsettia plants toxic for pets, especially cats?
Oh, all right. I had a cat. I had cats for a long time. Most animals will take a bite out of plants because you've seen them eating plants, and there's various reasons for that. But most of them aren't because they're hungry, and it's a case of things like the Christmas cactus, poinsettias. If they take a piece of them, if they take a bite, it doesn't taste good, so they don't eat them. So I don't think anyone has ever watched a cat or a dog devour a poinsettia, but they might eat a leaf because they do that when they have upset stomachs. Now, it tastes terrible, so it's not something they're eating for pleasure or fun, but it's not enough to harm them.
Okay.
And the same applies to the children in the house, the babies who also put everything in their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see their faces when they taste that white sap? It's so bitter. They don't go back for more. So
I was reading that
that's not harmful. It's not enough.
I was reading, though, that the sap can be a skin irritant.
Now, I was going to add that, but it's an odd thing to talk about in
Go
the
ahead.
winter.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't get the sap on your skin. The worst result is when you get into the sunlight. That compounds it and allows it to develop into something else. But without that sunshine, just wash it off and you'll have no ill effects. So not very harmful to any of us.
All right, so there you go, and hopefully that answers the question. Text line open, 330-370-1590. Here's our next one, Jeanne. It says, my lavender plant is in a pot outside. Should I have brought it in for the winter, or is it okay outside? My lavender in the ground wintered outside last year. Let me know what you think.
Well, they'll winter over in the ground just fine as long as it's a Hidcote or a Munstead, one of those species. But if it's one of the Greek lavenders with the fancier flowers, they aren't designed to winter over. Now, that one in the pot has probably already been killed by too much water, and we've had some big events, followed by cold. The roots will not survive for sure because they're exposed. It's in a pot. The cold can get to them because there's no insulation around them. So keeping it in the house in the winter isn't a good thing either. So having potted lavender isn't a good idea. If you bury the pot and dig it up again in the spring, that's better. If how much bubble wrap can you wrap it in and shelter it, and then it's not going to get the water it needs to keep it from desiccating. I'm not talking about drying out. I'm talking about desiccating because we have the searing winds. Those cold winds take all the moisture out of a tree. That's why it's good to use wilt-proof on some things.
So leave it in the ground, but in the pot, you're playing with danger.
Yeah, but it's too late for that now.
Gotcha.
I don't think anyone wants to spend that time digging a hole. Most people are chicken.
That's going to be 50 Monday, so could they get it in the hole?
Yeah, because I have things to do outside, too.
Okay.
One thing I have to do is look for spotted lanternfly eggs. No, I haven't been to Cleveland, and I haven't been camping, so I haven't had a camping trailer out into the Pennsylvania counties, the ones that border those counties, or above 90 up north, because between Cleveland and Toledo, there's been very large outbreaks. If you had a trailer up there, or if you had a car up in any of these counties, I would check them for the eggs, and they're about 1.5 inches. The masses are about 1.5 inches long, look like tan mud that's all cracked because it's dry. Scrape them off into something so they don't
Not on the
hatch and
ground.
dispose of them.
Put them in a can or something, get rid
Yeah.
of them. Okay, here's another text question for you. It says, Jeanne, I tried to save tomato seeds and see that there are fuzzy mold around the seeds. I rinsed them, put them on paper towels, and I set in the sun. Are they usable at this point?
Black fuzzy sounds like you fermented them well in water.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it
so
sounds
that's normal.
like that.
I think that's what she's
well,
asking.
if it's black, no, usually it's other colors. But
Well,
no,
she
I bet
didn't.
they
She
might
didn't
be
say
all right.
black. She just said fuzzy mold.
Oh, okay. No, that might be okay. And she rinsed them.
Yeah.
That might be all right.
Okay.
But that mold, whatever that mold is, how many molds are there in creation, might alter them somehow, but you won't know that until they start to grow. But I think she's going to get some tomatoes from them.
Awesome. Okay, another text question for you, Jeanne. It says, hey, Jeanne, is it okay to trim my trees this winter?
No.
Okay.
No, you wait until February. That usually, the January thaw, and we might have it in December, but there usually is a warming period. Lately, once we have that January thaw, it doesn't quit, and we get mild temperatures through late winter until we get a bite of really cold, and then they go back to, we've had terrible weather. It should just stay cold or stay warm. But no, that doesn't happen. So
it hasn't been predictable, that's for sure.
Well, and it's getting less predictable, actually.
Yeah.
If we can say one thing about our weather is we can't forecast it. I've noticed for weeks now they can't forecast the snow. They can't accurately forecast the temperatures. So all bets are off. You watch the weather, and it doesn't add up.
If you trim the trees right now, do you lose a lot of foliage? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not that, but it's a bad time to do it because you are putting a different freeze point. Usually the tips of trees get frozen and they allow themselves to die back. And the growing points go back to lateral buds. But if you start taking off lateral buds, you've actually injured your tree because the tertiary or the third buds down the line are kind of weak. And if they get a late frost, they're shot. So that branch might die.
Did you say wait till
and
February?
Insulation. So the more branches your tree has, the more warmth it can conserve.
Nice. Okay. There we go. Speaking of trees, another question came in, and I think we get this one this time every year as well. Jeanne, we dig up our Christmas tree, have it in the house, and then we always try to plant it. We haven't had much luck. Most of them die. We have had a couple survive. If you had to do this yourself, when would you put the tree in the ground, or is it worth us doing it all?
Well, you stopped me when you said you dig the tree yourself. So if you're digging a little itty-bitty conifer, which just means a needled tree, evergreen, has it been fully hydrated, well watered beforehand? Has it had a good growing season? In this last summer, they haven't had a good growing season.
Oh.
Not enough rain.
I see.
I mean, the new planted ones down the street from me, there's about 1/5 of them are already dead. Don't plant them in August when there's no rain. So it's a case of I don't think you're going to be successful if you dig your own. If you buy one, you make sure you get that hole dug before the ground freezes and cover up your soil or take it indoors. What you're going to
right
put
after
back
Christmas,
into the hole.
do you put this thing right in the ground after Christmas, or do you wait till spring? Okay.
As soon as you're ready to take your tree down. I don't think that tree should be in the house more than 5 days.
Oh.
And if it's a small tree, there's not a lot of ornaments to put on and take off. So it can be done quickly. But it seems like something that it's only for hardcore who want that real experience. I'd grow it and cut it, and I'd keep growing more trees and cutting them. That's what my family did. My dad had pines and spruces for us forever. We never bought, we did buy some bum trees.
Oh, we had to dig ours every year, and they always died.
Well,
my brother and I dreaded getting Christmas trees.
You don't get enough roots, and they haven't been in the container long enough to recover. We take them in the hot, dry house, and they can't recover.
Right. There you go. All right. Well, ever so quickly, we're done. Those are good questions.
Well, let me just say to all of these
Go
audience members out here who are listening or watching us, did you see how much I talked with my hands today? If you're on WAOH, you see how I talk with my hands, useless on radio. But I wish everybody has a really fine Christmas. I hope Thanksgiving was wonderful, but I hope it's a warm, friendly, family, successful
Well, aren't
Christmas.
you coming? Are you going to be with us next week?
Oh, yeah, but these Christmas greetings, it's Christmas season.
Right.
And I just want everyone to get in the spirit
Well,
because it's a month long.
They appreciate you coming in. We'll do it again next week.
Yes, we will.
Master gardener Jeanne Poremski joins us Thursdays at this time for our garden party on WAKR.
Hello.